Good afternoon, YouTube people. I thought I would do a video again today. I thought I would share some of my old prose poetry. Well, let's begin with the very first one. Well, not very first one, but one of the ones that I wrote down. This video might be a little short because I'm not sure how many prose poems are in this notebook, but I will get started now. It is called The Summer, and it's by my pen name. I used to write it by Catclaw200, which was my pen name. You know it's summer when the hot winds blow, and the heat saps your energy like nothing else. When the rain ceases to come and cool the air off, the land dries out in the heat, and there's no relief in sight. I'd fight the heat if I could, but I'm only mortal. You know it's summer when the heat knocks out batteries and drains people's energy. You know it's summer when the droughts and fires start. There's no way to stop it from coming, for it is part of the season. When the rain ceases and spring is gone, and the heat becomes unbearable. I once loved the summer, but now I no longer do. I prefer the cooler months. This one is about somebody yearning for love. So I'll get started with this title right now. It's called The Yearning for Love. And again, of course, I say it's by Catclaw, which is me. I will begin it now. I sit here and I wish I had a boyfriend. I yearn for the feeling of love, but I fear that will never come to pass. I sit here and wish that my yearnings would not make me blue. I sit here and wish I knew the feeling of what love is, but I fear I will never know that true feeling. I sit here wishing that my yearning dream was a reality. The yearning for love will never let me be. In the end, it is my fight to seek the emotion of hope and love. I sit here and wish I had someone to love me as I am. I fear that I will never see this world with rose-colored eyes. I sit here thinking of my yearning and put my longing into words, so that someday maybe I will meet the perfect mate. Now this one is a bit more Halloweenish, so I'm going to get started with this one. The Vampire King, and it was dated 6/20, the year 2002. And this is by Catclaw. Actually, it says my real name, but I'm not going to mention my real name. 'Twas a dark, stormy night, the kind of night you'd expect to see a vampire out hunting prey. On this particular night, the Vampire King would choose his queen to rule the night with him forever. He will go against tradition and go with his heart and pick one of mortal blood. His heart will rule then with love. The Vampire King will destroy all that vampires have known through the centuries. The times of change have come upon them now that mortals populate the world, and modern technology has come into power. For if they do not change, they will be left in the dust. So tonight, remember, the Vampire King is hunting for the right one. For it is this fight to change the way they have lived for a very long time that has the council of vampires in an uproar. So if you're chosen, you may be in danger. This one was written probably for a character of mine that I roleplayed, so I'm not going to mention her. Most people, if you've been to silverandcrystals.net, you guys would have known that I play a variety of characters, since that is based off of my main persona, which is Catclaw. So I'm just going to read this poem, and it's called The Demon's Love. It was dated 6/25 02, I believe. The love of a demon can be somewhat strange and twisted, no matter what they say in the end, for love remains the same no matter the race of beings. The love of a demon can be pure or for other reasons unknown. The demon's love will come to you tonight, so take heart. This demon does not serve the darkness, but serves the light. He is the loner, known only as Alexander the Demon Wolf. Demon's love is pure this night, but will be fought with danger, for he must show the one he loves his heart, and she must take it into safekeeping. Okay, I have a couple more that I'm going to show, that I'm going to read to you guys. The last feline. Her fur shines evermore in the oncoming darkness. Her eyes once filled with fire, spirit, are now fading back into the mists of times. Her claws, which ever once dulled on her prey, are now dulling, and are no longer sharp against her enemies. Her fangs have lost their sharpness to pierce their enemies with, and her flight is no longer sure, for her path has been filled with obstacles from the start. For now she is the last, standing free and brave above all that has happened to her, but she is quickly fading away from those that knew her long ago, from the mythical realms. And you know this to be somewhat true, so don't be blue when she finally goes away into the window in the sky to never return, for she has been the last to live when all felines have passed away. Okay, now this one talks about the question of what is love. And this was dated 10/29/02. What is love, my friend? Is love that good feeling when you grow? I can't even read it. Oh, I think it's attached. Oh, let me restart this over. What is love, my friend? Is love that good feeling when you grow attached to something that has always had a special place in your heart? Or is it when you meet that someone that sparks interest in your eyes? Can it be that love really can't be explained at all by questions? For the more you question love, the more questions that derive out of the first one. Love must be something that nature created for people and animals as well. We may never know the true answer to this question. Now this one is again another Halloween poem, dated 10/28/02. The screams are once more in the air as they rent and tear at your senses. Those emboldened voices that appear in the air in pieces, never saying one thing or another, but always appearing as thin white sheets that float on the wind. It is too terrible to hear for my poor mortal ears as the wind moans through the pecan trees, as a living being would cry from the ground. Beware this night, my friend, for the veil is very thin, and things unknown may be seen. That is, if you are not faint of heart. The screams of tormented souls cry out for revenge against their plight, crying out tears for those who have lost the fight and continue to moan and groan their tale. This poem is about the griffin fox, 10/28/02. The griffin fox, all feathered in silver and white, glowed as if he was a noonday jewel in the sunlight. Awake or asleep, this being was something to see up close. His ire, though, was something to arouse unless you wanted to hear the angry screech of doom come toward you. Whisper Whisper a silent prayer as the talons pierce your skin, for that shall be the last thing you will ever see. The wing beats of the griffin fox beat a rhythm all their own that is hard to capture and in book and in written lines. No hunter can capture unless they want their death coming at them with talons extended. Okay, this is another poem about winged cats. It's called The Winged Beats of Felines, dated 10/28/02. If you stare at the sky on a moonless night, then you shall hear the wing beats of 1,000 forms flying by. If one is kind to a feline, then one shall see them winging by on silver-tipped wings that beat out a rhythm to those who listen and dream of seeing them in far-off places. If one is a dreamer, then one shall see the winged felines in their flight across the moonless sky in hopes that shall not be seen by mortal eyes who would wish them harm. If you wish a little harder, perhaps the winged felines will take on a flight for the fancy that will appeal to you, and they who never cease at flying the night away. This one is called The Dreams, and it was dated 10/28/02. Dreams come, and long after you have held them in your hands, and they have turned to dust, dreams take you into worlds that only exist in books and fairy tales. Dreams whisper across your mind when you're asleep and not awake. Dreams can be good or bad, depending on what is going on within your mind. Dreams float on a thin breeze that can turn into a gale if allowed to continue. Dreams can start out as the truth, while others turn blue with sadness at a recent event. Dreams tell us many things that we wish we would lie sleeping within us. Dreams foretell the future and past, plus the present, and I know this to be true. Okay, this is about a poem about a character named Sunclaw who lives on a planet called Sundark, and this poem was for that planet that I created in one of my journals. So here we go. It's called The Dark World, and it was written 10/29/02. Sundark is a dangerous, dark place to live in, unless, of course, you are the rulers and do not fear the creatures of darkness. But it is the same if you are any ruler. For although Sundark is filled with many evergreen forests, it is always wise to watch what you are getting into, for in this world you must always watch yourself. Sundark may not be dangerous to the guardians, but I wouldn't try it on my own, my friends, for in a flash we could all end up as someone else's meal. Sundark is a dark place for those of the light, any road. Now this one is about werecats, and this was dated 10/29/02, and it's called The Werecats. Morrissey and Bootsley went into the forest that night to explore and meet their creator of their curse that they would bear for all of time. They recovered from the werewolf's bite, and leaped and bounded onwards towards home. When they looked at each other by the light of the moon and knew something was not right, they decided it was time to put a stop to the werewolf, and this they gladly did, for they wanted to retain some of their sweetness again. They staked the werewolf and became their lovable selves, but could not break the curse of the werewolf, and are sentenced to be wares forever. This is a poem written for one of my characters called Misty, the Singing Wolf. Actually, she's called Misty the Magical Singing Wolf, because any song that she sings can be translated in roleplay to anybody's native roleplaying native language. So this I'm going to do. So I'm going to give you the title. It says, Another Song of Misty, and it was dated 10/29/02. Misty words come to mind when all wolves howl at the death of one of our friends. But we who are the misty wolves cannot always sing of death and that which brings fear. Misty minds cannot always remember what they see that borders on the fantastic. We misty wolves sing of both, and at one time or another, misty songs which are heard long ago are forgotten and are never sung again, except for us who are the misty wolves that live in the past and forget the present. Misty words come to mind once in a great while, as all wolves sing of misty wolves sing of joy and of death of one of our friends. This one is titled Dracon. This poem was written for my evil dragon character, so I am going to read it to you. It was dated 10/29/02. The black dragon with red jagged streaks opened his jaws to breathe flame on the innocents. Dracon was his name, and he was known as the fighter among evil dragons. Against his own brother and the destroyer of his own home planet, the black dragon could not hope to hold a candle to the sire of all evil, although he tried more often than could be counted. Dracon would, if the need was great, help the light against their most dreaded foe, the fire dragon, whose song and memory was forever burned in the memories of the felines. The black dragon was a minor foe compared to others who were stronger and more eviler than him. Dracon, the fighter of evil dragons and destroyer of his home planet. This one was for my shifter demon cat called Ruby. And it says here, Ruby the Demon Cat, dated 10/29/02. Ruby the Demon Cat had eyes that glowed. Many mistook her for the vile cloth thing, had a similar coloring to hers, though their power differed greatly in what they did, and there is the matter of souls. Ruby had the horns of a dragon and the scales that matched. But the ire of Ruby's fire is a very dangerous thing to see, especially when her demon side is left loose to destroy her enemies. Ruby, the demon cat of the light, had her life cut out for her when people saw what she was the first time. Ruby, your ire is strong to see, as is your choice of weapons. Demon cat of ruby eyes. I wrote this, I'm not sure what I was trying to say when I wrote this, but it was dated 11/1/2002, and it is titled, If You Know. If you know what you're going to do beforehand, then do it, but if you know that it's something bad, then don't ever do it. If you know what's happening in the world, then let it be known. If you know who your love is, then go and ask her for a date. If you know so many things, then write them down, so someone else may read them down throughout the years. If you know what knowledge is, then go for it and rejoice in the wisdom thereof. If you know, then all they say, and they say nothing to your friends, who have found theirs. If you know what's going to happen to your life, then go for it. With blessings on your side. Okay, this was written for an Appaloosa dog that passed away, and I'm going to read it to you. It was dated 11/2/02. There once, in the existence of time, lived a small ball of fur named Sweetie, without a care in the world. When he ran away, without meaning to, and met a group of evil kids who kicked his mouth and broke it forever, realigning his life, someone found him and had compassion. Soon they fixed him up as brand as new, but then when he was taken to the pound and found one home that didn't care if he was physically imperfect, but he finally had to leave because he could no longer stand up on his hind feet. He went to the window in the sky and became better, no longer as he once was, immortal life, but whole forevermore. And this he said telepathically to us. though he would not be coming back to Earth until 2 years passed away. Then he would think about it, but it was his own choice to die or be taken to a hospital to be fixed. He chose the latter, for he no longer wanted to live like he was, for he enjoyed being clean and grooming his feet. This, my friend, is the tale of Sweetie the Lost Wapso, which has been based off the true story, and someday shall be written down in a story about him and his boundless joy of life, for he was a joy spirit. And this is me doing a poem on the Dragon Cats by Cat Club. The Dragon Cats have their strange ways and even stranger weapons, for almost none are born with poison, but almost all are born with magical abilities. The Dragon Cats have their fierce tempers, and it is even stranger to see how they use them. Their strange ways would confuse even the simplest human, and even the Griffin should never have talked to them. The Dragon Cats may be seen if you wish hard enough, but never will be understood. But you will never understand their ways, for they are wild and exotic and strange as well. For the only magical ability is the gem they carry. Okay, the next one is called Catclaw. Now this is my first now, so you guys are going to hear this one. Catclaw, your fiery temper is something no one wants to see. Your eyes become silver and gold flames that dance merrily when you are angry. You are the winged leopard of fire and of fear. Catclaw, your wings were made for flight in the light of day. Your fangs and claws are great weapons for a fight, but peace is your greater skill. With your I'm not sure what I was trying to say. I think it was with your visions or adventure. I think it was either adventure or visions. With your aversion to fights that break out. Oh, aversion. Okay. The fights that break out. Catclaw, beware of the tide of evil that wishes to destroy you. Catclaw, remember to trust your friends and don't shut them out in fear of your past. Catclaw, you're the guardian of fire, ordered to protect them. Okay, this one is also done by my character Misty, the Magical Singing Wolf. It was dated 11/7, I guess, 02, something like that. Misty once was a ghost wolf who could only be seen within dreams and seen only at night. Misty, the ghost wolf, had a reputation as the one who helped people, but became misty when she transported herself to the land of mist and became leader of the pack. Misty, the magical singing wolf, was once the ghost wolf who haunted people at night and said she was an evil thing born out of fear because of rousing this wolf's rage. It says, beware of rousing this wolf's rage, for her howl is stranger than most. This one is titled The Dragons of Night, and this one I think is like 11/1 or 11/2 or something like that. And it was dated 02. In the night, the dragons of the might. Let me start that off. In the night, the dragons of the night commence to do one thing or another that is stranger or wonderful. In the night, a fight will have broken out, disturbing the flight rhythm of the dragons of the night. In the night, the dragons of the night disappear before the dragons of the light can awake and chase them away back into their caves of the night. In the night, the dragons of the night can be heard, their dragon wings echoing against stone, rock cliffs, and water, for they are the terror in the night. For you, maidens seeking adventure far away from home in the darkest of the night, beware of the dragons of the night. This is about Clawfang. So I'm not going to even mention the title because it's titled The Dark Hunt, and I wasn't going to mention it, but I'll read it to you. Clawfang hunted in the dead of night, searching for prey, and finding only a doe, sank his fangs into her neck and drank her blood, leaving a little left to still make the meat soft. He started eating the meat when the winds changed and dread was on the air as something unknown. He ran away when something grabbed control of his mind, making making it his suggestion to run with fear. The green grinning with fangs showing with glee as he realized he could bring fear to the one who had overstepped the line in many things that he did. This is still the Dark Hunt. When the mind manipulation ceased, he found himself in a new place, completely still, not knowing that he is being followed, for the dragon mentally disguised himself as a rock, so the vile feline will not see him. Clawfang gets himself into a deadly dance of death and life, while fighting a demon of evil, for all that running had mightily made the soulless one hungry for a meal, and he would take it where he could get one. The demon would find while fighting the vile one that his life was in peril. If he lost the fight, then death would be his doom by Clawfang. Okay, this one is called The Shadow Cat, and this was dated 11/4/02. The shadow cat hunts in the shadows no one ever sees him, for it is a part of the darkness that seems to move in front of the naked eye. Shadow cat filled with sorrow at his leaving to other places, for he knows he shall be greatly missed by his friends in the world. The shadow cat whose silent paws can never be heard in the dead of night, for only shadows can fight with one another, and show their might in the moonless sky. The shadow cat cries blue, tears of blue, for the sadness of leaving is strong, especially for those he just met. Truth always melts the magic of the shadow cat, if he is evil, but if he is good, then that's another matter. The shadow cat hunts for his last meal among those he knows. This is titled The Prey, and this was done 11/4/02. Beware, little deer, the felines are away from their caves, are out hunting for a meal. Beware, little herd, of what's about to take place, for you may find yourself short of one of your members. Beware, felines, that while you're gone to hunting, the mice will surely play. Beware, little mice, the felines are out hunting tonight, for they hunger, lest ye become caught in their claws. Beware, mice of the field, your death awaits you at your door. Beware, felines, the coyotes are waiting there on your return, and then the true hunter will become the prey. then it shall be your doom. Cry no tears of blue while this goes on, for it is the circle of life in the world of those who are prey to the predators. Okay, this one is titled A Day, and this was titled 11/12/02. In a day, everything can go wrong. In a day, everything can go right. In a day, everything can continue into chaos. In a day, I can do things that no one thinks of either. In a day that passes towards night and those who live in the night, in a day anything can go right and bring happy things to a close. In a day anything can happen to us or to one of our loved ones. In a day the written word can mean so much to those who read. In a day when technology takes over everything, then where will we be by then, my friends? In an age of space and flying saucers. This is titled Love, 11/13/02. Love may pass us on by, but that does not mean it will continue to do so. My friend, love has a mind of its own in the end, and it's something that even I cannot explain. Love grows between us each day, but where will I go so that you may follow me? Love has no rhythm or reason when it strikes us down, for no fight could keep love away for long. Love has always been in the air when the sun was shining. Love will never go away when we still live to enjoy life. Love, my friend, means many things. To the dreamer who sees, and to the writer who writes, and to the romantic, love is all these things, and yet is still more than can be said, for no written word can describe the love I feel for you. This is titled A Dreamer. Then we have two more that I'm gonna read to you, and then that'll be the end of this one. A Dreamer, written 11/13/02. I dream so many things on one night that I cannot possibly know what they mean. I dream of pets long gone from this world. I dream of nightmares that would wake you from a sound sleep and make you cry out with fear. I dream of so many things that I have no meaning to them at all. When dreaming, I am dead to the world, as all children must be when asleep. But do you know what your dreams mean? I dream of doing so many things that it's not funny. I dream of creatures that I have created, and I am them flying in my dreams. I dream of aliens visiting and wanting to know about us. Okay, this is Misty's Song by Cat Claw, and it was dated 11/13/02. Over the misty mountains dwells the dragoness with fur instead of scales, and feline companion with wings. Over the forest they fly, looking for adventure. When they find it there, and the thrill is evermore. Over the rivers their flight patterns go, making the water ripple from the wind of their wings. Over the hill and dale do they dwell, in the mountain called by their people Mystic Mountain, and by the humans it is called Myth Mountain. Over time and space do they move between worlds and realms to find friends in unlikely places. Over the misty mountains dwells the dragons and their gang. Over space and time do they travel to fight for the light. And this is another one that was sang by Misty the Magical Wolf. This was Misty's song for Holly, which is Cat Claw's grandmother, dated 11/12/02. Holly, you were the fighting spirit for your granddaughter. Holly, you had many names and broke the laws to tell the mortals of their perils in the night, but they take no heed and slay you with poison that is quick acting. Holly, if only they could have known you when you were full of life, but they have never known your name, which will always be true Lightheart. For you stood in the way of evil when it wanted entrance. This is a sad day for all, my friend, for in your passing you will leave it a blue world. Your name shall be remembered by the great deeds you've done, for we magical misty wolves shall forever sing your death song in years to come. My great friend, follow the light and forever be at peace. And now I have one more to read, and then I'm going to upload this to YouTube. This is called The Healing Unicorn, 11-1302. The unicorn prances down to the water's edge to dip his horn into it and cure all poisons that other animals leave behind. The unicorn who can heal all illnesses is mightily hunted for his horn alone, but it is the creature, not the horn, that can heal. The unicorn came to the water's edge and saw a poor maiden that is sick, and touched his horn to her, and she became well. He was given an apple for his work, and it was sweet to him, but unknown this maiden would send the hunters after him, because he would get away in time. And that is the end of all my Prose poetry. So I hope you enjoyed some of those older ones. And yes, when I was reading it, I kind of messed up on some of the words, so you'll have to forgive me, because that was written when I was younger and going through grade school. So a lot of times I had to rush when I was writing those prose poems. So I really hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.